The feeling of coming out of FIEA and stepping into an industry job is really great. You feel very accomplished. You feel like you're kind of out there on your own, but you're taking what you learned and applying it to a real, not necessarily that the education's not real, but it's it's a real workplace, and you're applying what you learned, and it's just really cool to see the things that you learn at FIEA come to life pretty naturally in your daily job experience. All right, so a typical day for me at Lockheed Martin, I'll come into work, I'll check in with my manager, and right now I'm working on a project where I'm doing a lot of shader programming, so I'm doing a lot of special effects and real-time graphics rendering. I'm mainly happy about the, I guess, independence that they're giving me. Like, they're not like holding my hand, and things like that. They give me a task and they expect me to do it, and I enjoy the freedom of being able to do that task on my own and come up with the solutions myself and come up with my own design and not kind of being hand-fed what I'm told what I'm supposed to do. It's pretty cool at Lockheed Martin. There's one other guy that graduated from FIEA, and he's an artist, and he's a pretty cool resource because since I'm working on graphics related stuff, he is knowledgeable of what it takes to have something render in real time, and I can come to him for questions and vice versa. And I can just tell when I'm talking to him, that we're on the same page, and that there's no he's understanding what I'm telling him, basically. So it's a pretty cool feeling. I think I was a little intimidated that I was working for a government contractor, and someone had told me that I probably wouldn't write a single line of code while I was there for like months and months. So I was a little afraid of that, and so like the first day I came in and they're like, we need some help with shader programming and we don't know how to do it, basically, or we need help with it. And it was just awesome because I got to dive right into some pretty technical stuff right away, and they gave me the responsibility to do it, so it was a pretty good feeling. The most beneficial thing that I've taken from FIEA is the ability to work with others, and also from the programming track, I learned a lot of technical aspects of programming and techniques and things like that. And it's definitely something that's helping me in the industry right now because people expect that from you, and they expect if they give you a task that you're not going to have to ramp up too much, or that you're understanding what they're talking about. So I think that's probably those two things, working with others and having that technical background from the programming track, has really benefited. At Lockheed Martin, they handle their projects a little bit differently than FIEA does. At FIEA, you'll typically work with a producer and an artist pretty closely, and it's a pretty tight-knit group. At Lockheed, you're more working within kind of your own field of expertise. So if you're a software developer, you're going to mainly work with software developers. And I'm not sure how it is for any of the other tracks, but so it's a little different in that aspect, but it's still the same where you're all working on a team and you're all trying to achieve the same goal. So that aspect is the same. So my advice I would give to incoming FIEA students would be to invest as much as you can into the program, reasonably, because you really get out what you put into the program. So if you invest a lot, you'll get out a lot, and it'll pay off big in the end, even though it's a lot of hard work at the time. So when I was interviewing with Lockheed Martin, the guy that was interviewing me, he was looking over my resume, and he was impressed with the diversity that I had with my resume and the different areas that I've invested my time in and my experience. And at FIEA, you're able to experience a lot of the different realms and aspects of game development and programming. And I think that's what he was most impressed with, was just the diversity I had. And he was able to ask me, like, well, you have experience in a lot of different areas, but what do you want to do? And because of that wide experience, I was able to answer and tell them what I enjoyed doing, and hopefully they would have a position for me in that area, and they did. Well, why I chose Lockheed over a traditional game company, I interviewed with the game companies and I interviewed with Lockheed, and I had my heart set on going to a game industry job because that's really what I wanted to do and everything. But it just turned out that things fell into place with Lockheed, and I think it turns out that at Lockheed or at somewhere else other than the games industry, if you're coming out of a school like FIEA and you've got a lot of experience, more so than what most people in a different industry do, such as like Department of Defense, they look at you and they see your skills and it's like so different from theirs, but it's what they need. So they immediately throw you into the ring and start giving you tasks and seeing what you can do.